Shalom. Yeah, we could. We could. Shalom. Shalom. We're a couple of brothers from GMS Houston coming to you with another live lesson. On this Thursday night, the end of the Shabbat. But before we get started, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Shem, Yahweh Shai, by Shem Kodash. Double honors to our elder apostles, the elders of Great Millstone as GMS. Double honors to their elders who taught them this truth. Peace and bless to the Akim and a few Akwat across the four winds. Um, the brother and I were breaking bread, before the camera went on, and we were just going into never trusting our enemy. We're coming in a time of Jacob's trouble, which 2024 is the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. It's going to get real chaotic. It's going to be a lot of people getting sent to the spirit world. It's going to be newly created creatures. It's going to be a lot going on all at once. The main thing is going to be destruction, especially of Babylon the Great, which is America, and the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, which salvation is only for the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and he's going to deliver. So he's going to destroy and deliver. But hey, never trust thine enemy. So that's pretty much what we want to go into it. We didn't want to make it too long, but Lord willing, let's edify and exhort to the hopeful elect. You got anything, brother? Con. Sirach 12:10. We can start there.
Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10.
Exalt your voice a little bit.
God. The Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Never, it says never trust thine enemy. Not sometimes, not partial. Never trust your enemy. Your enemy is seeking to destroy you. Your enemy doesn't want you to be of the nation of, of the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. But never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. That's inevitable. Iron is definitely going to rust. Sometimes it rusts faster than, could be drawn out. You can try to polish it up and things like that, but that rust is still going to be there forever. Just like the wickedness of Esau Edom, which is the self-proclaimed white man. He's going to come down with these draconian laws. Hey, you can already see it's getting closer and closer to election time. They got the debate going on. But hey, never trust your enemy. You have something, brother?
God, I'm gonna get who those enemies are. Psalms 83. It's like, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you Hebrew Israelites, you have an enemy. You have several enemies, and your enemies are also the Lord's enemies. If you get into the scriptures, it explains to you that there are people that hate the Lord, and they hate you as well. And Psalms chapter 83 goes into that. I'm gonna start just with getting well. We're gonna get it from verse 2. This is Psalms 83 and 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult; they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They had said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, and the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And that's what they did, because here it is, these dry bones are coming back together, but they had cut Israel off. They had supplanted Israel, and they had become, the children of the Lord. They put up their images, their icons, but guess what? The Lord is waking up his people. So we're coming back into remembrance of who we are. But like it says, they said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the nation of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, and Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Selah. So, all of those different nations, Esau, Edom being first and foremost, have, they hate you. They hate you, and they are counted as your enemy. So, never trust thine enemy, So, like as iron rusteth, go back to it. Never trust thine enemy. This is Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, that thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, basically what they're saying is in the ancient world, a looking glass was a piece of metal, a piece of metal that you would buff it out to where you could look into it. But guess what? There was always rust in it. There was always rust in it, you know, and that's Esau Edom. You know, if he does something, he's not gonna do anything helpful to you, not unless he's gonna benefit out of it. I mean, you can look at that in your lifetime. When's the last time you went and got you a car loan? When's the last time you got a house loan? Oh yeah, he's gonna tell you come and get this payday loan, but guess what? He hitting you with what 30% APR.
That's crazy amounts. Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? No. The Ethiopians are known to be dark skinned people, come from the Hamites, which were not Hamites. Yes, we do have some Israelites, seed that's mingled amongst the Ethiopians, but the Ethiopians are the Hamites, which are the so called Africans. So they're typically a dark skin. When you go into the definition of Ham, one of the progenitors of the dark races, um, or the leopard his spots. Leopards have spots. They can't pick and choose whether they want spots or not. And continuing on in Jeremiah 13 and 23, then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. So Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man, was created to do evil. So he's not going to do no good. And like the brother was saying, if he does good, hey, it's one for our benefit, but two, hey, he's thinking about doing some wickedness. He's thinking about stabbing you in the back, how to take you down, how to continue to cut you off from your heritage, how to continue to keep his foot on your neck.
That's like now they're trying to offset prophecy by putting the Ten Commandments back in the schools. It's too late. It's too late. You know, his wickedness has reached up to heaven. You know, the prophecy says that this place has to be taken down.
It's like, and I laugh because I seen Louisiana. I think it was happening like that in Louisiana too with the Ten Commandments. But I laugh because I know that Louisiana is known for voodoo, for witchcraft. And you used to have a young rapper. He had a song about his grandma and him going into voodoo, him doing voodoo, and I forgot his name, some uh, Fulio or whatever his name was, Julio Fulio. But hey, he got sent to the spirit world. You know, they out here want to spin block. Hey, you're doing the bidding of Esau Edom. You're doing all this wickedness. But we're not supposed to trust you 2/3 neither. You are our enemy also. But no, it's like I don't want to go too much on a tangent, brother.
Oh, you good?
Oh yeah, I was still with that one. So like, Joe, look at that Joe.
Joe. Oh.
God, no. And again, this is the year 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Part of Jacob's trouble also is going to be you Israelites getting, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans getting rounded up into FEMA camps. Are you going to trust FEMA? In a time of disaster, when there's an EMP, when there's no lights, when there's no food, when there's a famine, are you going to, the scriptures say, woe unto you that go on down to Egypt. Egypt is, the modern day Babylon, which is America. We are yet this day in our captivity.
This is Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Esau Edom runs everything. As the curses, when you go into Deuteronomy 28, and yes, vocab, Deuteronomy 28, we can use scriptures to prove that that's for the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the curses. But Hey, we're hoping that you're going to receive that Deuteronomy 30:7. You know, his curse is going to fall upon you and the rest of those that hate Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and the nation of Israel. And we might have to get that one too. But the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, Esau, Edom. They run everything. You know, we'll go to them for the one of all things. And he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Who covered up the face of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua? And if you don't know, Yahweh is the Most High, whom the world ignorantly calls God. His only begotten Son, his name is not Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai. But they cover the faces of the judges. They make the angels pale males. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, they made them pale males. Hey, they just want to continue to so-called whitewash things.
Yeah. And, you know, and we have a disdain for you people, you know, because this is Psalms chapter 39, not 139 and verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Yahweh, that hate thee? Am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. And they are our enemies. We just went over it in Psalms 83. You know, the so-called white man is our enemy. You know, he has, if you look at the history, he has never done anything to benefit you. He has always shown his hatred. You know, these drown towns we got in the U.S., in America, these drown towns where so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were prospering, and then guess what? He got jealous and came in and flooded your whole town. Or he came in and raped, robbed, and pillaged and kicked you out of your house and took it over. I mean, there was a lady in Fort Worth that they took her house. She's 90, I think she was 90, 93 years old. They took her house, they kicked her and her family out of the house when she was like 13, and she just now got it back. I mean, yeah, you know, it's a little too late too.
Yeah, I was just about to say with the Tulsa situation, they just lost. You know, they're not going to give you that land back in Tulsa. You know, which they took from the Native Americans and the so-called Mexicans. You know, the so-called Native Americans, so-called Mexicans. Hey, but ultimately this place is going to get burnt up. But as you can read in the Apocrypha, you know, what nation has not had a hand in our captivity, as we was going into in Psalms 83. We're not supposed to trust our enemies. That's plural. Never trust thine enemies. That's plural. That's on all facets. What you got it, brother?
And the so-called white man believes that he owns everything. I remember years ago, I was out hunting pigeons, right? You know, in the public, and I was shooting as a pigeon, and a so-called Edomite come out. He said, "Hey, what you doing?" I said, "Hey, you know, pigeons are a bird that, you know, that was imported for eating, and I'm out here hunting them. There's no season on them." He said, "Well, that's my pigeons." I said, "Well, shit. Tell me which one is yours, and I won't shoot it."
Yeah, you gotta supplant your enemy. You got something? Are you finished with that one?
Con.
You'll get Matthew 10:16. Yeah, and that brother did, you know, what an Israelite is supposed to do, supplant. You know, that's what we go into. Hey, that's why I wanted to bring out this precept.
This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
Yeah, hey, we are sent forth as sheeps in the midst of wolves. Wolves devour sheeps. You know, wolves are pretty massive. Like, wolves are way bigger than a lot of dogs. They're like, shit, 3 or 4 times as big as dogs. They look damn near like werewolves, like you see in these movies. You know, just to, you know, put a size on it. But, hey, we have to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. You know, live peaceably amongst, you know, all men. Yeah, but, hey, at the end of the day, you got to be wise as a serpent. That's what the brother was doing. He was wise as a servant. Well, you show me which one is yours and I won't shoot me. And he's not going to have an answer for it. I guarantee you he didn't have an answer. That brother was being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You know, because you could, you know, you got some Jake is short for Jacob. We so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but if you're not wise, hey, Esau's blessing, Esau Edom, self-proclaimed white man, his blessing is the sword, which the modern day sword. One of them is the pistol, the gun, the rifle. You know, hey, it can go to a totally different way. And now he's ready. You know, he's already has a perpetual hatred against you. Hey, they look for any reason to put you down, especially in a hunting scenario. Oh, it was an accident. I was hunting pigeons, and they're gonna take his word. But no, that was pretty much it on there. Unless you had something. Kind of, but one thing that really sparked the live lesson too was we're going into Esau Edom, self-proclaimed white man, his pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
You know how he pushes, he gets. Well, people don't know that Esau Edom, he gets commission like big pharma. You know, that's $1 trillion industry. They make so much money on all of these medicines. That's why they push forth all of these medicines. Um, you get Joe 13. Every commercial you see is some medicine.
Yeah, for medicine or food.
Yeah. Now they putting the so-called medicines in your food now. You know, they taking these Pokemon. I like when a brother say that the Pokemon. You know, that's a popular word anyway. You had people in the world, you know, in the folly chasing Pokemon. Yeah, the Pokemon, and a lot of people fell for it. You know, the old banana in the tailpipe. Like when brother say that.
But yeah, banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah, you took that Pokemon, and now people out here starting to bug out, and a lot of statistics are coming out, which the prophets were telling you beforehand.
But and they weren't like, okay, when this so-called pandemic was live and in the mix, they was telling you every day how many people were passing away, but guess what? Now it's people passing away from the big pokey, and they're not going into how many people are you know, going into the spirit world based on taking these MNRAs. But this is Job chapter 13 and verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value.
There's no value in that. You got Dr. Falsely, I like to call him, pushing forth. You know, it's coming out that he had something to do with HIV, AIDS, and Ebola. Now you had the C19. He was involved in all of those, but all they're doing is lining their pockets. They're lying to you. It came out that he was lying about the 6 feet, which we knew that was BS. Because if it's airborne, it's not gonna stop just 6 feet.
Yeah, and the mask. I mean, why are you putting a mask on your face? You know, to try and filter out something that's microscopic. I mean, how does that work? It doesn't work. But you know, as the prophets have been trying to tell you since day one, never trust thine enemy. You know, because he's a dirty, low down scoundrel, a fugitive, and a vagabond. You know, you can't.
Yeah, they want a depop, you know, up to like 10 to 15%, so they say, but I'm sure the number is higher because you had the Georgia Guidestones before those got destroyed. You know, they want to bring it down to a certain number, but 10 to 15% wasn't really in that number, but they wanted to get rid of the Georgia Guidestones because people are starting to, you know, wake up. We're living in an information age, so it's a lot of information coming out. You know, you got people that are so-called woke, but they're really asleep.
Yeah, but the Georgia Guidestones had said that to maintain humanity at 900 million, I believe. And right now we're at 8 billion.
Yeah, it might have been like 500 million.
Yeah, it might have been 500. Well, either way, they wanted to kill off 90% of the population.
Yeah.
I wanted to. You know, this is not medical misinformation. They want to get rid of 90% of the population. Now, Mr. Gates has said we can do that through our procedures, through our if we do a really good job, we can do that through our procedures. And hey, y'all went out and took them. Y'all went out and took those procedures, and guess what? You're starting to drop off the face of the planet.
Yeah, because what they did was they lied to you and they told you that, you know, it will prevent you from getting, you know, C19, when in actuality they just want to pump you up and give you some therapy to your to your genetic makeup. You got to kind of dance in circles when you're talking. But it's all coming out that they're forges of lies. That's all they do. Um, what's that? Saw 5083. What you got some?
Psalm chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
As soon as they come out of the womb, they speak lies. Hey, they're taught to lie from a young age. They understand, that a lot of the people in the Holy Land understand that they're not the actual people, but they're continuing on in the lie that was passed down to them. Just like we were going into with the Pokemon, telling us to protect you so you can see your family, when all they want to do is decrease your family.
And just like this evolution theory, where on Earth is there a animal that is in transition? I mean, how does that work? They said, well, different animals evolve from different things. Well, where is there an animal on the planet now that's in transition between that? He's a forger of lies. I mean, as soon as they come out, as soon as they come out of the womb, speaking lies. They who on the planet has said that their race was superior to everyone else's? Who has done that? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, with his pseudoscience. And as it is now, these things are coming out. This is Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
He Esau Edom is a smooth operator, as the song goes. But he talks real smooth, as smooth as butter. If you ever touch butter, it's really smooth. He's buttering you up, as they say, right? But in his heart, which is his mind, is war. And the main cause of war is what? To get rid of your enemy. To get rid of those that, feel like that's going to take your place. But when Yahweh says Yahweh Shai and the heavenly hosts, the angels, he's not going to stand a chance. So you're going to be, you're warring against Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Right now we're fishing, but hey, soon we're going to turn into hunters too. And that's another thing that he's afraid of. But his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Softer than oil. Again, that's slick talk. Like you have the old heads all saying, yeah, he's talking slick. Yeah, that's what he does. He'll tell you that it'll prevent you from something, but in actuality, he knows that it's going to increase other ailments. So that, again, as we were going into before we cut the camera on, so you can purchase more medicines. He's not going to tell you or get to the root of the problem. He just wants to pump you up with different types of medicines, which it'll kill your kidneys, your liver, cause cancer.
Yeah, I went to the doctor recently, and he checked my blood pressure, and he said, "Oh, well, we need to put you on this medication." He never did once say, "Well, hey, what is causing your blood pressure to be high?" No, he just wanted to go straight to, putting a Band-Aid on the problem where these pharmaceuticals, they cause other problems. Mm-hmm. They cause other problems. I mean, it's coming out. The food, the pharmaceutical industry, the herbs are what are supposed to cure you. But Esau Edom has tricked the world into believing that his pseudoscience is better when all it's doing is actually killing you. Mm-hmm. It's killing you slowly, and he's fleecing you out of all of your funds.
You get the Sirach 38.
Kind of. This is Sirach chapter 38 and verse 4. The Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, have created medicines out of the earth and he that is wise will not abhor them.
Hey, the medicines come out of the earth, man. This brother, we talk about the herbs a lot. And this brother actually made me what was the magnolia tincture? Like,
Kind.
yeah, something that really helps with my allergies and sinuses. It's a natural herb that came out of the earth, where it opposed to if I go to Esau Edom, you know, or you do see the other heathen nations in there also. We can't forget about the other heathen nations that are so-called, these doctors, a lot of the Elam, the East Indians, but all of these people are your enemy. They're seeking to destroy you. That, like the brother said, they're not going to get to the root of the problem. This brother was like, "Hey, I got some magnolias." I was like, "Cool." Ate a couple of raw magnolias and it cleared me up. You know, something that was created by Yahweh by Shemi Awashah out of the earth. And then when you go into that word abhor, that word is to dislike intensely. Like when we tell our people to take the bitter herbs, to help with stomach problems, like like cayenne and things like that. Like if you have a sinus congestion, you have mucus, you make your tea, and then you add the cayenne pepper to that. Hey, it breaks up the mucus. But instead, Esau Edom, self-proclaimed white man, what he does, he wants to put you on medicines. He wants to inject you with some allergy. Let's give you some allergy shots. Things like that.
Some pharmakia.
Cause
some shit that he done stirred up in a cauldron with his,
he got his little petri dish.
over.
Yeah, a little petri dish.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last piece of land was 14 5.
This is,
and then that was
this is Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 14 and verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods.
You want to go into it, or?
I mean, look at the air. Look at everything that's going on. Here in the United States, they sell you food that's banned everywhere else in the world. Nobody is taking food from this so-called whore. Nobody's taking, from Babylon the Great. Nobody's taking food. Why is that? Because he that is evil to himself, to whom shall he be good? I mean, it's all you have to do is go out in the sky, go out in the morning and look into the sky and see the chemtrails. Have your water tested. Have your water tested to see what's in it. The so-called white man, he's putting your water in a plastic bottle, and you got microplastics in it, and it's causing harm to everything. The fish in the ocean, the groundwater is polluted. I mean, who else is doing this? Who else is doing these type of things? Who else is trying to change the food? Who's genetically modifying food, and why? I mean, he got to eat the same shit we got to eat.
Yeah, even though they have better animals, but hey, the whole earth is polluted. But my favorite is when you have these top elites, Esau Edom, self-proclaimed white man, and they off their own people. They pull a lot of with backstabbing moves, I'll call it. They want to get rid of some of the people that insurance money. You see it a lot of times on these TV shows where they go into greed, but he's not accustomed to doing good to his own people. So how much more you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? But you have anything else?
Yeah, I got one. This is Second Esdras chapter 6 and verse 28. But faith shall flourish, and unfaithfulness shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared. And that's what we're doing. We're declaring the truth. We are the Hebrew Israelites. Lord, the Lord's chosen people. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is your enemy. And we're declaring these things. Yes, Ammon and Moab and Ham, these are all your enemies as well.
And that would be, the Hamites are the so-called Africans. Elam is the East Indians, your Persians. Moab is the Chinese, Ammon is the Japanese. We can't forget Japhet, which are, you know, your Samoan and you like your Polynesians. You know, everybody that's not an Israelite is your enemy, but we always say, hey, 2/3 of our people are enemy. You know, our own women. But I like to say females, Salaki. You got it? You finished? Oh, you finished on that, brother?
Khan, that's it.
Khan. And you know, that's going to be the end of the lesson. And, you know, Lord willing, edification went out. I want to say shalom to the elders, elder apostles, and, you know, the brethren on the comment board. You know, shalom, brakathum to you brothers and sisters that's on the comment board. But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and exhorting to the nation of Israel. Again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And our seed has been scattered across the four winds. So we do have Israelites that look like the other heathen nations. But we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Double honors again to our elder apostles, their elders who taught them this truth. The elders of Great Millstone is GMS. Peace and blessings to the Akim and the few Akwat across the four winds. Shalom and Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.